Hello, and welcome back to another session of DevLive. I have the pleasure of running a short interview with one of the partners of our partners, LSTG Romania, and we're talking to Mihai Tudor, Director Enterprise Agility at LSTG Romania. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Can we start by having a short introduction from your side?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, it's great to be here in Cluj. DevTalks is the first time we're coming at the event, and it's been a great event so far. So I look forward to there's been a second part. So my name is Mihai Tudor. I'm an engineering lead at the London Stock Exchange Group, short LSEG. LSEG is it's best known for its trading venue for the stock exchange, but that's just a part of what we do. So it is the part that is essentially sold, but since 2.5 years, with the acquisition of Refinitiv, we became so much more than that. And now we can offer customers solutions across financial market infrastructure and also the data ecosystem. So it's a very exciting time. We're in Romania and Bucharest, Romania for 5 years now. It's been an incredible journey. We are close to 1,000 people on the ground. Most of them technologists, so we're building critical market infrastructure, and we're building critical business applications for customers all around the world.
Can you tell us a bit about how you started working for LSEG and what do you love about the company and the culture?
Right. So I started working at LSEG in 2019. So when I decided to move back with my family from London back to Bucharest and be part of the team that was building the new technology center for London Stock Exchange Group here in Bucharest. It's been incredible 5 years almost. I've worked in 2 of the 3 business verticals in LSEG. And kind of what I like most about LSEG is the possibilities. Right, so you can do things ranging from kind of building an ultra low latency C++ code to doing UX research and building business applications that are used by millions of customers all around the world.
Quite a wide spectrum.
It's a wide spectrum, right? So you are able to do that in the company. It's just a huge.
That means that if I'm a tech professional, I mean, whatever the background, I have a chance of finding
you will find something that you love in the group, right?
And nowadays, tech professionals have so many options whenever they choose their employer. Same is valid in Bucharest and now in Cluj. What would be some reasons for tech professionals to choose LSEG for their career?
Well, I can think of 2 at least.
Okay.
So it's number one. We are a global company, so we do business with over 190 countries, and we are building the future of financial markets. Right. So if you're a technologist and you're interested about financial markets, then this is the place to be. And second, it's about the mission. Right? So LSEG has a great mission, right? Something that I enjoy working on. Right? So LSEG mission is to kind of drive economic stability and empower economies all around the world, and that's something that is exciting to be part of. And I'm certainly very grateful to be part of.
And you've mentioned that you are already close to 1,000 or 1,000 people in Romania. What should we expect from LSEG in the next 2-3 years?
So it's an exciting time in LSEG. Right? So we've just launched our new brand recently. So simplifying the story around what LSEG does. Right? LSEG is doing a lot of things. Right? So with the new branding, we try to simplify the way our customers perceive LSEG and the way our customers do business with us. We've also unveiled our strategy for the next period, which is very ambitious, and together with it, the culture that we need to build in order to execute that that strategy, right? So I don't know. There's a number of things that I can think of. Like certainly one of the most interesting things that we're doing is our partnership with Microsoft, which was announced last year in December, and we now have a few hundred Microsoft engineers working side by side with a few hundred of LSEG engineers working in the same team, building a common culture, engineering culture, and building the new next generation of data platforms and data analytics. It's very exciting.
That sounds interesting
to see the two kind of market industry leaders working together and creating something new. There's interesting things happening in the other parts of the organizations. For example, in capital markets, we're launching new FX capabilities, improving, for example, the execution by things. So very exciting kind of technology. Right, so I guess it's a lot of things happening. The company's going through a transformation, this week, as our CEO said, when we visited Bucharest a few weeks ago, the ambition is that we make LSEG one of the great companies to work for in the country. I think it's definitely achievable.
How can technology businesses build access and retain tech talent as demand is heating up? I mean, of course, we do have some companies reducing a bit their stuff, but you can still feel a lot of heat in the tech market. So how
we do?
What's your approach?
I guess it has to be improving the developer experience, right? So there's an interesting paper from Microsoft Research published sometimes beginning of this year when they were looking at kind of what makes a great engineering culture and how do you kind of improve your developer experience, right? Which is basically making it kind of a great place to be for engineers, right? And it's basically looking at two things. Like one is make things easy to do, and that these are things like provisioning development and test environments, building, releasing your application, as well as getting support. Right? So kind of simplifying the way we do things so that our engineers focus more on what they like to do and are able to get into the flow and stay there on track. So that's one fold. And then second, which is also something that we strive to do at LSEG, it's kind of bridging the gap between engineers and customers, like bringing the engineers closer to our customers, which is basically reducing the feedback loop, which is a time between you commit the code to when that code is in production and you get feedback. Right, so there's a tight correlation between the size of the feedback loop to how engaged and how good is the developer experience. Right? The shorter the loop, the shorter the better the developer experience.
And that's something that always gets mentioned by tech professionals, that sometimes in some type of projects or companies they don't have at all access to the customer, and then it becomes at one point difficult to work on a project and find the energy to move forward. And what you've mentioned, it must be very interesting for them.
Exactly, and it's building that culture in which engineers are encouraged to experiment and show ideas to customers early, understand and have direct access to the customers, understand what the customers need, get that fast feedback on whether what they're doing is what the customer needs or not. That sometimes might mean we're not doing the right thing, right? But the benefits that you adapt fast, right? You don't kind of end up building products for 1 year. You do short cycles, and you always validate your hypothesis with the customers, making sure that you're right. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. And I know from speaking to my colleagues, from kind of reading what industry thinks, that's what good engineers like to do, right? They want to be engaged, they want to have a close relationship with the customers, and each one understand deeply what they're building. And they want to make sure that they want to get that kind of confirmation on the hypothesis fast.
And you feel the impact of
and you feel the impact, right? And obviously, if you're a programmer and you're checking in a code now, and it's going to get into the hands of the customers in a year's time, and it has a problem, you won't remember much about what you've done a year back. Right? So it's kind of reducing the time.
So we have a lot of aspiring tech people who want to grow in their tech careers, and you had a wonderful career up to now. So what did you learn from it, and would transform in an advice for our audience?
I guess what I would tell kind of particularly people at the beginning of their career is that you have to be bold, you have to be ambitious, you have to be curious, and you have to kind of find companies that will share values with you and have ambitious missions. Right? You want to be able to work for a company that has an impact to the world and that kind of values your share, right? And don't settle for anything less than that.
Thank you, Mihai. It was nice having you here at DevLive, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation.